Callas cancelled the opening night performance with Norma after the first act, walking out on the gala audience and the President of the Republic of Italy.
I told him I'm not well. Now, something might come wrong. Who is my double? Nobody can double Callas. Oh, so you take the responsibility of saying, we will not substitute her. And he says, of course I will. When the time came, he said, Callas is capricious, she won't. What am I supposed to say? I was sick, I could not continue, because if I was well, I would have continued, and I was spitting their faces at my enemies. And if I can make my enemies I would not kill them, but if I could make them go on their knees in front of me, I can, I will, and I must.
Before that year was out, Callas had also broken with La Scala. She vowed never to sing there again as long as Antonio Gringhelli was the manager. And in November of that year, in Dallas, as she stepped off the stage from a performance of Medea, she read to the press a telegram from Rudolf Bing, firing her from the Metropolitan Opera Company.
Why in Dallas and not here? That's something I'd like to tell him. Why doesn't he do these performances at the Met? And I would be there with pleasure. But in any case, very best wishes for triumphal success.
And by the way, I suppose I must tell you something. We started quarreling involuntarily on my side, of course, because... No, I didn't think, of course, it was a quarrel. I just refused the next year's contract because he offered me the old repertoire, that is the old Norma staging, which you all saw.
Which she's done time and time again.
The Norma, Barbara Seville, Traviata, Lucia, and I said, no, I'm sorry, I cannot do routine. I want new performances, staged well. You know, like here, like a little young Dallas is doing, my God. I suppose that made him angry. I don't know. I mean, I can't explain it otherwise.
Oh, my God, is that really 20 years ago? Well, it was just a question. It was a decision, really. Does she run the Met, or do I run the Met? And at that time, perhaps very wrongly, I felt that I was running the Met. And she made, I mean, obviously Callas was treated, kid glove is an understatement. Every wish she had, and they were usually reasonable, was fulfilled, but occasionally she became just intolerable. And there was an agreement, I don't remember the exact details now, but there was an agreement that she would do Lady Macbeth and Traviata. And obviously these are extremely different parts in their textures, and I arranged with her how many days she would need in between, and that was all arranged and all discussed. And then she suddenly said she wouldn't do Traviata. And in the meantime, she had gone to Dallas, Texas, I think, where she sang various performances. And I telephoned and letters and cables, and she didn't answer. Her difficulty was her husband, who was very difficult in these matters. So eventually the moment came when I had to say, sorry, contract cancelled. Little did I know that everything disappeared from the front pages, and being fired Callas was just the news of the day. Was she that much more difficult than other artists? The answer is yes. And I think mainly because she was that much more intelligent. With most artists, you could argue, and if you, I mean, they were just, I wouldn't say they were stupid. I dealt with a great number of very intelligent artists, but eventually you could get them around, so to speak. Callas you couldn't get around. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she knew why she wanted it. And that made things very difficult. And consequently, she was, I would say she was the most difficult artist I had to deal with in my time, and not always successful.